Grace is a fundamental concept in Christianity. It represents God's love and mercy towards humanity, despite our imperfections. Grace is often described as the cornerstone of the Christian faith. It is through grace that believers find hope, redemption, and reconciliation with God. Grace is a lived experience, a daily encounter with divine love that transforms lives. It is what makes the Christian message profoundly unique and deeply comforting. Grace reassures us that we do not have to earn God's favor. It is freely given. Understanding grace is essential for anyone who seeks to comprehend the essence of Christian faith. It is a journey that takes us through the pages of the Bible, revealing the heart of God. This journey begins with defining what grace truly means. Grace, according to the Bible, is the unearned and unmerited favor of God. It is often referred to in the Greek New Testament as charis, which means favor, blessing, or kindness. One of the most quoted definitions of grace is found in Ephesians 2:8-9. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. This passage succinctly encapsulates the essence of grace in Christian theology. Grace is not something we can achieve or earn through our efforts. It is a divine gift, given freely by God out of His boundless love. From the Old Testament narratives of God's covenant with Israel to the New Testament accounts of Jesus' ministry, grace is a recurring theme. It is a reminder of God's unwavering commitment to His creation and His desire to restore and redeem. Ephesians 2:8-9 is a cornerstone scripture that elucidates the nature of salvation through grace. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, underscores that salvation is a gift from God. This passage emphasizes that it is by grace, through faith, that we are saved, and not by our works. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. These verses highlight that salvation is not something we can earn. It is not a reward for good behavior or righteous deeds. Instead, it is a manifestation of God's love and mercy. Our actions, no matter how noble, cannot secure our place in God's kingdom. It is only through accepting the gift of grace by faith that we can be saved. This understanding of grace fosters humility and gratitude as we recognize our dependence on God's mercy. Section 4. The unmerited favor of God. Grace is often described as the unmerited favor of God. This means that it is given without consideration of our worthiness or actions. God's grace is a reflection of His character, not of our deeds. It is an expression of His infinite love and mercy, extended to all humanity. In a world where we are accustomed to earning rewards and facing consequences for our actions, grace stands out as a divine gift that defies human logic. Grace is evident in the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Throughout His ministry, Jesus demonstrated grace by reaching out to the marginalized, the sinners, and the outcasts of society. The parable of the prodigal son is a powerful illustration of grace. Despite our mistakes and failures, God welcomes us with open arms, ready to forgive and restore. Section 5. Living a life of grace. Understanding grace is not just an intellectual exercise, it is a call to live differently. A life marked by grace is characterized by humility, kindness, and a deep sense of gratitude. When we recognize that we are recipients of God's unmerited favor, it transforms our relationships and our outlook on life. Living a life of grace means extending the same love and forgiveness we have received to others. It means letting go of judgment and embracing compassion. Grace also calls us to trust in God's provision and timing. In our daily lives, grace can manifest in simple acts of kindness, in forgiving those who have wronged us, and in offering support to those in need. Section 6. Conclusion. Grace in Christian teachings. Grace is the heart of the Christian message. It is the assurance of God's love and mercy, freely given to all who believe. Through grace we find salvation, not by our works, but by faith in God's promise. This understanding of grace shapes our faith, our actions, and our relationships. The journey to understand grace takes us through the Scriptures, revealing the depth of God's love. By embracing grace, we are called to live lives marked by humility, gratitude, and compassion. It is through grace that we find hope, redemption, and the assurance of God's everlasting love.